Hello guys and welcome to the next episode of Minecraft Plum Labs. So Minecraft Plum Labs guys, I've got some exciting news for this episode. We have basically hit the point where power is semi-sorted, resources are semi-sorted. I say semi-sorted in the fact that they're all up and running, just not in the most efficient manner possible. So we basically have, a big, boost in power. We've got a, reactor sort of inbuilt into the wall and everything. We've got a bit of a system going on here. I've sort of hit the point of the episode where I'm kind of wanting to move away just a little bit. I'm not going to completely move away from all the machinery and stuff, but I'd like to get a little bit of aesthetic building of Plum Labs. So, I mean, the series after all is, called Building Plum Labs. So, if I'm honest, I kind of want to get a little bit of stuff built for the actual Plum Lab. So, laboratory blocks is going to be something I'm probably going to want to have a look at. So, laboratory blocks, these are pretty cool blocks actually. I believe they're from chisel and they're quite a bit of smooth stone and some nether quartz and stuff. So, nether quartz is something we'll probably need quite a bit of. And how much of it do we have? We've got quite a bit of it actually. But most of our cobblestone is, well, cobblestone. It's basically the end of the day. It's not been refined into smooth stone. So I'm going to go and set this guy up to smelt. Right, I'm almost tempted to put a hardened upgrade on this guy actually, just to make him go a little bit smoother. And as you can see, now we're not running the, we've got the quarry running, so that's, taking a bit of a strain and stuff off. It's not, the end of the world anymore in terms of our power situation. Obviously, if I do this, it will, eat a bunch of power to obviously run the quarry and stuff. But if I do this, this guy, as much as it drains his power ridiculously quickly, it's not quite the end of the world in the way that it once was, since obviously it doesn't completely, rip apart our backup power anymore. But I think power, we're not doing too badly for it at the minute. I think it's a bit of a mess in terms of how it's all laid out, but I wouldn't say that it's, the end of the world by any means. Now, one thing I should probably check on actually, is this guy set up to output waste? Oh, he actually outputs a waste. We've got a cyanite. I don't think these guys really have much of a use. You can use them to make blocks, really, and in fact, by the looks of it, they might have some more uses than what I thought. Do they have any real uses besides being ground up into dust and stuff? And oh, I didn't realise they're actually used to make the turbines. So to be fair, you actually do need to run these reactors to get turbines now. Kind of interesting. I did not know that. I've not really played with the mod for quite a good while, so I'm a little bit out of tune for this sort of stuff. Well, one thing I'm kind of, in the mood to make actually is something called the Exchanger. Now, I did a tutorial on this, a Feed the Beast tutorial, quite a while ago, I want to say. Do I have any blaze powder? Okay, looks like we have a little bit, so I can get some Eyes of Ender. So, to basically make all the tiers of exchanges, you basically have to start with the really basic one. What do you see? You are gold nuggets, potatoes, and an ender pearl. So you are, well, so you literally do a 1 by 1. That is pretty poor, if I'm honest. I think the tuberous one, I believe that's basically like, your base one, you've got creative one, and then you've got the wooden one, which I believe is also, you need it to basically, make the ones previously to it. So I believe Resonant was like the best sort of tier one that you could make really before. What are these? Are these like separate ones? I believe also all the different mods and stuff in the game. So we also have, different things and stuff. I'm almost tempted so we don't even need to go like the wooden, gold and stuff route. Could we just go for like a leadstone one? Would that be not the end of the world? Would that be okay? Just to go for like a leadstone one and then a hardened one. It needs lead, a core, a flux capacitor. Is that the end of the world to make? I think I'm just going to make a basic leadstone one actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for leadstone. Oh, here, got leadstone exchanger. So we have a redstone servo anyway, and by the looks of it, these guys can be upgraded. You need Resonant Ender Bucket, which is going to be a little bit of a pain, since it requires a fluid transposer, and I believe it's also going to require a magma crucible. So magma crucible, it's a pretty basic block I want to say to make. So tin gear, not quite the end of the world, and let me guess, glass is going to be the problem again. I don't know, glass would be the problem. If somehow we're getting quite a lot of sandstone. Where's this sandstone coming from? Is this like something that we've mined? Like, I'm not entirely sure where the sandstone's coming from. I want to say it's probably come from mining. I want to say it's probably in there. Yeah, I assume it's come from the mining. We are getting mob drops again, which, of course, I'm not like overly thrilled about, since I think I'm worried about it filling up our storage system. Like, we're getting quite a lot of rotten flesh. We're getting a lot of solidified experience, which I suppose I'm kind of happy about. I'm also going to lock that from JEIing me into something else. Okay, so it was. Oh, it was the magma crucible, wasn't it? We'll also need the magma crucible. This guy. Don't tell me we need more glass again. Yep, that appears to be the problem. So gravel. Let's pulverize this gravel. Not cobblestone, gravel. Get in there, gravel. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to let this pulverize and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so a little bit of that's happened. So actually we've got a little bit of glass and stuff now. So hopefully, do we have enough to make a magma crucible yet? I want to hope so. So we also need some fused glass, which requires fused glass. Oh, this is really irritating. So I just want to get it. So I must just basically keep clicking until I find the original recipe for it. Oh, I had it then, and then I clicked off of it like a moron. Come on. Okay, I think the easiest way is just going to be to go through here and then just get the recipe for it. So you are white. Is it not just like where's just the normal plain fused glass? Enlightened, fused. There's all the different colours. Is it not going to be like enlightened? I don't want enlightened. I just want normal fused quartz. Dark fused. Isn't that like just a base colour for this thing rather than being... Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the recipe for this and I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, so I believe I found the recipe to get this fused quartz, and it kind of means that I'm going to have to go and get something from Ender.io. So I'm going to have to go and get the alloy smelter. I don't know why I decided to put an out there. Oh, I can't believe this. I was hoping to have an episode where I wouldn't have to delve into machines, but meh. What can you do? I need to get an exchanger up and running, and you appear to be one of these guys. And what did I have to smelt you with? Industrial dye blend. What the hell is industrial dye blend? So I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to make this guy off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, as it turns out, if I look, you can make a basic version of this, which is a lot easier than the version I was trying to make, just using some basic ingredients, really. So, well, I say ingredients, you guys know what I mean by ingredient. Well, yeah, you know what I mean by ingredients. Okay, so I can make these basic stone gears. So is that going to be enough to make an alloy smelter? Yes, it is. So the alloy smelter, I'm going to ping this guy down, and realistically, I should put him on an output line rather than an input line. So, an output line. I really don't want to get to the lazy point where I'm just like dumping machines on machines on machines. So, but I don't think I'm going to dump this guy there. And I believe this fused quartz, if I remember this correctly. So if I put this guy into... Are you going to work? That should be the recipe for fused quartz. I've also just had a bit of a look on the wiki, guys, and I've also just realised that it's also interchangeable with hardened glass. Now, did we make any hardened glass, actually? I believe you make it from sandy glass. So if I look at the recipe for hardened glass, do you have to make it out of like a specific thing, or can you just make normal hardened glass? Okay, guys, so a little bit of testing later. I think I finally figured out how to get this quartz glass thing underway. So it's really, 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 really slow, but you basically just put one of these guys in and you should get hopefully one of these guys out. I believe that's the conversion recipe. Oh. I apologise, guys, that was a lot of effort. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but here we are. So I made one of these guys and copper gears. That's going to be something I'm going to need to make as well. I'm going to need to make a redstone reception coil, which is easy enough. So do we have to make a magma crucible now? Nether bricks. Do we have any nether bricks? So I believe I have a few of these knocking about when I did my quick trip to the nether. So are you going to work now? Yes, we have a magma crucible, guys. So the next thing I'm going to need is a fluid transposer. I'll probably need to put this guy into JR rather than take it out so he doesn't lose it. So you require one of these guys again. Now, what am I missing to make you? Tin year. I was going to try and make a pun then, but I don't know why. I just couldn't quite think of a pun that would actually work with that. So are you now going to work well? You should now work very well. Yes, there we go. So we now have a magma crucible and a fluid transposer, which is exactly what we needed to make our exchanger. So it was the leadstone exchanger we were going for, I believe, and I believe we got all that way with the whole thing. What we just couldn't make was this resonant ender bucket. So I'm going to need a bucket. Do I have any buckets anymore? Kind of used up all my buckets. I must have. Okay, so these guys really need to be next to each other. So you know what? I'm going to be really lazy with these guys. I really apologise for the laziness with these things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a bucket in there and some ender pearls. I believe we should have got some from our mob farm. Okay, we're not getting like an overly large amount of ender pearls, but if I'm honest, we probably are going to end up, you know, with some better ender pearl stuff down the line. Okay, so you are full on power. Even like I said, he's just purely running off of these combustion generators, which isn't like the end of the world or anything. How are you guys doing? You guys don't have any rosin in you at all. I'm just curious to know how much this guy will actually give. So if I melt down one ender pearl, that will yield 250 millibuckets. So we only need another 3 of these guys to get 1 full bucket. I just don't really want any excess because I know how much of a pain in the arse it is when you have like so much access to this stuff. Okay, so can I now set you to output there and input there? Yeah, so there you go. So now he's going to input directly from here. So when that's done, he's going to, you know, make a bucket, which is going to be pretty cool. So I might upgrade this guy directly once we, like, 'cause it doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of a pain to do. We are going to need a, well, you know, I think what I'll do is I'll stick with the leadstone exchanger and we'll, you know, see how that goes. So I believe we have everything to make it except for that 1 bucket. Do you believe it, guys? We have everything to make except this 1 bucket of ender. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll let this guy finish up and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go, guys. So it's now finished. We now have the resonant ender bucket. I believe this is the stuff that when you place it on the floor, it then teleports you, I believe. Why are you not working? Oh, what was the thing we needed to make, right? Oh, it was that we needed to make, wasn't it? I thought that was like the grand moment then when we actually get to make it, but no. I haven't even made my core yet. So here we go, guys, the leadstone exchanger. So you're probably wondering, if you haven't, you know, played with it before, what the hell this guy actually does. And if I'm honest, he does something really neat. So what I'm actually going to do for now is get some cobblestone. I'm going to let this guy, you know, smelt up the cobble again. And I'm going to get myself some laboratory blocks. So I'm going to get myself a couple of stacks and probably a chisel. So we have a couple of chisels and I'm going to get rid of this guy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these guys into a nice sort of laboratory block that I can actually use for the Plum labs, basically. So I think tiles are going to be nice as a floor, I think. So what was I... Oh, yeah, I was just setting the smooth stone to work and I was setting this guy to charge, wasn't I? So, you know, this guy's now got a pretty reasonable amount of stuff in his inventory. So this is going to be the main basis for the entrance to Plum Labs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this guy on the floor here, and I'm going to basically right-click this guy. And I think what I'm going to need to do is look in controls real quick, and I'll need to find out what the control is to actually increase the range. I know I made a tutorial on how to increase the range of this guy, but let's say I've not seen that guy for quite a while. So range, is that the thing we want? For building gadgets? I don't believe it is. I think there's a separate tab for exchanges. Dark steel armor, draconic evolution, exchanges, here we go. Exchange in mode switch, range switch. So range, I'm tempted to say, for the range, I'm tempted to say we could have the left square bracket for the range. And I presume this will cycle, so I'll have right bracket to say do the mode. I'm not quite sure what the mode does. Okay, in fact, I believe that's probably actually going to collide quite a bit with our... whoops. I didn't really consider that when I was doing that, so it's good to know that they clash, but it doesn't tell you that they clash. So what if I go for that and that? Does that seem like a cool plan? I think that's going to be quite annoying, so yeah, I'm going to change that again. How do I keep getting these controls so wrong, guys? I must admit, this is getting quite bad here. I bet you guys are just screaming at me, like, whenever I make an incorrect judgment on what the controls should be. What if I go for period and slash? Actually, no. I'm gonna go for well, it is. I'm gonna go for comma and period. There we go. So now what I can do is at least in a 3x3 area, which, because it only is a leadstone one, obviously it's gonna, you know, take a little bit of time to complete, rather than just being able to do like a big 5x5 area or anything. Error out of block. Okay, so we need some more chiseled laboratory blocks. So you see, it gives me the thing in my inventory back. You know, I think this kind of looks nice actually. This kind of sort of obviously it's not Sphax textured, so it's not, you know, looking like amazing, but the bed's kind of in the way. So this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert this into like sort of a bit of a reception area. Does that sound like a cool plan, guys? I think that does sound like a cool plan. Turn this into a bit of a reception area for the Plum laboratories. So this guy is going to... I'm not sure what he was... Okay, he had some coal in his inventory and some other stuff, but nothing major really. Now, I'd probably say the next thing is probably the walls. So I'm going to go downstairs, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go nick some more cobblestone. And you appear to be still working. You've obviously done, because he works considerably quicker than that guy. And what I'm going to do is get myself some quartz. I have done a little bit more quartz mining, so between segments, so I should have quite a bit. And how much smooth stone do we have? Do we have much in ways of smooth stone? Yes, we do. So we should be able to make quite a lot of laboratory blocks. Let's say quite a lot. We've got that much. So it's not like, you know, an overly large amount, but hey, it's enough. Now, I'm tempted. Now the walling, if I'm honest, I'm not quite sure how to do this. So the walling, guys, I'm not entirely sure what to do the walling out of. I know it's going to be some kind of laboratory block, but I'm not entirely sure which one. Maybe, I think, well, let's have a look in chisel and let's see what we can come up with. So for the walls, I kinda... I'm not even necessarily sure if I want to go for like the whole laboratory block thing. What if I put like some basic laboratory blocks? Have they stayed in my chisel? Yes, they have stayed in my chisel. How does white panel look? So if I stick this guy down... You know, white panel actually doesn't look like the end of the world. Like, I think I'm kind of content with living with that. I don't know if I like want to have that as my like entire wall. You know, I think at least for reception, it'll do. I think we're gonna have one of those situations where it's gonna be like, it may not be perfect, but it'll do. Now the smart thing with the exchanger is it also recognises, oh hey, you've got some like laboratory blocks in your inventory. Hey, I'll just start taking those out, rather than, you know, having to have it in your hotbar and, you know, permanently. So it's kind of neat actually, this exchanger. And wow, we added laboratory blocks already. I'm gonna get these tiled ones and set them into panels. I believe we can't really hear anything because we were like right next to the sound muffler. How many potatoes have we got? Whoa, that's a lot of potatoes. I didn't really realise we'd have that many potatoes, if I'm honest. Whoa, this is transformed the way this place looks. I didn't expect it to look that good, I must admit. But if I'm honest, I'm very impressed with the way that looks. Just the fact that we've now got a really kind of smooth interior finish. So I think what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to wrap the episode up here. I don't think there's really, you know, much more I can do with this episode. Like, all I'm really going to be doing is sort of, you know, making this place look a bit more laboratory-like, I suppose, if you will. Where am I getting shot at? Oh, it's the typical tree power farm place. I don't know why they always seem to hang out there. Probably because they're just not going to burn to death. How are you doing? Oh, well, there's a lot of... I'll say it's a lot of experience. There's a little bit of experience on the floor. I believe it's just because we filled both of our tanks up now. But yeah, I think, like I say, guys, I'm gonna wrap the episode up here. I think we've done a fair bit of progress this episode. We've done a little bit of maintenance, you know, for the, you know, making sure the power system's all up and running. Yeah, the power system's all up and running. The quarry system, I'm not quite sure what its beef is. Just on the basis that the system keeps giving you know, this guy ore, which I'm not sure why, like in sort of cobblestone, like a bunch of ores made it here. I'm not even sure how, but I believe that's something we could probably sort out in you know, later episodes. It's not causing us like, you know, major issues. It's a bit of a bummer, but it's not like causing us any major issues. So I'm kind of happy to, you know, let it sit and for the time being, since, you know, we're not having any major issues with it. Okay, you're backlogged for some. I really need to figure out a way to stop that doing that. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this episode anyways. I think next episode, like I said, we're going to come back, hopefully make Plum Labs look a little bit nicer. The basement area, I'm not necessarily going to worry about it too much in terms of how it looks, but I am going to probably, you know, I'm basically waiting for the quarry to finish, and so I'm hoping once the quarry gets done, you can see we've got a nice big area out here that we can basically build into, which is sort of my plan. So if I dig out here, that's basically, you know, the massive area. So the reason I didn't set this just to fill it with dirt is so I could then build into this massive area. Since look at the area of how big this is going to be, guys. That's, I don't really consider that's where the mobs were spawning. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to wrap the episode up here. I think we're going to, you know, do a bit of expansion of the lab at some point into here. So once this is basically, you know, quarried out a bit more, we can then build like into there, and we can, you know, so this room isn't so crowded and claustrophobic, which I think that's kind of get the feeling it is at the minute. So thank you for watching, guys. Hope you've enjoyed this episode anyways. Goodbye from Plum. Built an empire of stars.